up, NFL fans? Welcome to the Legit Football NFL podcast. It's your boy Kevin Phillip Fox here from a different part of France. This is just what we do nowadays. I feel like I just live in Europe. It's fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Monday show for you, which means only one thing. It hasn't meant this the past couple of weeks. So, ladies and gentlemen, rejoice. I want the Hallelujah Choir to be played for my boy Jimmy Ray. Jimmy Ray, how the heck are you, man?
Oh, I'm doing
back,
good,
baby.
man. This isn't the Hallelujah Choir, but it's the next best thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I would say it's right up there with the Hallelujah Choir.
Yeah,
Anthony's transition music is right up there.
Listen, I'm not in Europe, but I'm in good old Indiana. So I mean, that's second to Europe, right?
You know, I think you're right up there. And honestly, I'm loving the no green screen from Jimmy Ray. I feel like I am getting a peek into Jimmy Ray's life, which I feel like the world needs more of.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little peek.
Jimmy Ray, what a blessing, man. It's great to have you back. I was starting to legitimately wonder if I would ever see you again.
Bro, don't ever think that. I want you to know I'll always find time for you.
It's like the song from Tarzan. You'll be in my heart. That's Jimmy Ray at all times.
We need more singing from Kevin. I didn't realize he started a new career.
Every episode, dog. You already know. We have Armand, the GOAT, in the chat. He's already buzzing because camp starts in 3 weeks. Yes, sir, Armand. Cannot freaking wait. I'm getting the bug. The football bug is like infecting me right now. We have Thomas in the chat, the best graphic designer maybe of all time. We have Oscar shouting out the fact that it's the 4th of July.
Everybody's here. What's going on?
Yeah, it's technically the 4th of July tomorrow.
Happy 3rd of July.
For me, it's the 4th of July in 20 minutes, but we don't celebrate the 4th of July here, bro. We celebrate Baguette Day. We Baguette Day.
Shout out to the Baguette.
Thank you. Armand is shouting out Jimmy Ray and calling out how long this vacation is. Hey, man, I didn't plan it, bro. My girl, she's a French native. She's a French citizen, so she planned this trip. I just signed my name on the dotted line. But we could do this all day. You guys know we love banter. It's maybe arguably the best part of the show, but we got some things to get into today because we have our legit headlines. And Jimmy Ray, it's not easy coming up with legit headlines in the dog days of the football season, man. We're in July, so we're going to be talking about what NFL players stubbed their toe today, what color paint NFL players are using for their homes. It's real. Thank you. Anthony's just killing it with the
2 laughing tracks already, man.
Oh God, I know.
Friends right here.
What you're hearing is the chat laughing.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out Armand. That's a good laugh.
The first legit headline is kind of crazy. Keep an eye on Aaron Donald at the trade deadline. Dan Graziano of ESPN thinks there's that a poor record at the deadline could lead to the Rams trading Aaron Donald to a contender. The Rams seem likely to target a top quarterback prospect in next year's draft and could need an infusion of draft capital. Graziano writes that Donald could be the missing piece of a team Super Bowl run, the way Von Miller was for the Rams a handful of years ago. Contenders with cap space who might make a run at Donald are the Jets, the Cowboys, and the Bengals. The future Hall of Famer would obviously have to sign off on a trade. Jimmy, this screams of the kind of trade that we would see that is like almost a respect trade from a team to a player. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, it all comes down to like how the Rams will do this season. I think some people are on the fence about it, whether they'll continue kind of going downhill and rebuilding after this year. Some people have faith in the talent. I mean, they do have talent. We see that on their team, right? But they had talent last year too, and it obviously didn't work out. But Sean McVay, he's a good coach, and I think it's kind of safe to bet on him. But if they are kind of going downhill, this is a perfect trade to make for all 3 parties, for both teams and for Aaron Donald himself. They're one of, if not the best defensive tackle ever, honestly. I mean, he's goated.
Absolutely. One of the best players in NFL history, no question. A lot of people, I do believe that Aaron Donald is the kind of player who commands that respect from his team, from the fans. He got them their ring. So it's like, honestly, I don't think anybody's going to bat an eyelash if he gets traded. It would be one of the biggest trades in NFL history, even at this stage of his career, because of how dominant he still is, how impactful he could still be. So whatever team he goes to, he would instantly become one of the best players on that team and instantly inject this crazy life and energy into that team. And if he really wants to have one more run at a ring, which who doesn't? I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. It's not going to affect his money. So,
I mean, Khalil Mack got traded. That's the first thing that came to mind. Remember when Khalil Mack got traded to the Bears? That was kind of insane. But
it's weird when
then he got traded again.
It's weird when these like elite, like best players at their position get traded. It doesn't happen often. So yeah, I'm quite fascinated by this. Something to keep an eye on. I guess cards on the table. I don't really see it happening just because of how much it would cost.
It cost a lot. Yeah, it would be like one of those that's like surprises you. That's not a lot, like a wide receiver or something get it traded. It would be I mean, this guy is the number one guy in the NFL. He's gonna get if he gets traded. That's why it's so tough.
You have to think at least a first round pick, maybe two. Armand sees the Cowboys landing him. That makes a lot of sense. Oh my god, I don't want to see him with a star on his helmet. No, I'm gonna reject this based on what I want. No, I think it's entirely the Cowboys love their stars. Yeah. So I could definitely see Aaron Donald as a Cowboy.
I mean, what a defense though that would be.
I know they're already stacked.
I mean, the Cowboys do have to kind of go all in for sure. They need something to come out of this season.
Low key, they're one of the teams that has like one of the more like people talk about windows all the time. Dak's not getting any younger. He's not particularly old, but 27. He hasn't really. They haven't even made an NFC Championship game in his career. So
it's been a while.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Don't remind Cowboys fans because they'll jump on you. I tweet stats like that all the time, and Cowboys fans are like, "Well, just stop reminding us." I'm like,
they're a team
dude. That's on you.
You kind of have to pretend like they are good every year just so that their fans don't attack you. But it's like, I'm sorry. Okay. As far as the Rams go, I don't see them winning more than 7 games. To be completely honest with you, so. If that's a real thing, like if it's like if this then that, and the if is if the Rams suck, then Aaron Donald is gone, then as weird as it sounds, I think I could absolutely seeing this trade happen.
And if he's gone, other people better be gone too. You might as well just go full in.
Literally.
I mean, and you better not win 7 games. You better win like 3 or 4 if you're going to do that.
And that's the cost of doing what Les Snead and Sean McVay did when they took Stafford and them to the Super Bowl. I mean, no regrets. Nobody's going to take it back. That ring is forever. And Donald helped them get it. So great opening, legit headline. Let's keep it moving. Ladies and gentlemen, draft experts are predicting a big season for Vikings rookie running back DeWayne McBride. Chris Trapasso of CBS Sports thinks McBride will be the 3rd most productive rookie running back in the NFL, behind only Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. Minnesota selected McBride in the 7th round. He rushed for 1,713 yards and scored 13 touchdowns on 233 carries. That's 7.4 yards per carry, Jimmy, at UAB last season. McBride led the FBS in rushing yards per game and was 5th in rushing yards after contact. He rushed for over 100 yards in 10 of his 11 games last season, with 3 200-yard games. Jimmy's the stat guy. He knows how crazy absurd these numbers are. McBride will compete with Ty Chandler for the right to backup starter Alexander Mattison. Jimmy Ray, first thoughts on this crazy DeWayne McBride talent that the Vikings landed in the 7th round?
I mean, my thoughts when I first heard it from you was, I mean, there's a lot of good rookie running backs that could produce. So the fact that
Charbonnet.
Yeah, Charbonnet. I mean, Spears could be somewhere. Kendre Miller, Chase Brown. I mean, there's a lot of guys. Okay, Rams making the wild card at 10-6, in my opinion. Sure. I could see that's in the range of outcomes.
Maybe 10-7. 10-6 is almost impossible unless they get a tie or they lose a game. I'm just kidding. But hopefully no more games gets canceled. I don't see double-digit wins for the Rams. I might bet on that.
Do it.
Clip this for me so I can sound like a genius at the end of the year.
Over and under is.
Anyways.
Yes. DeWayne McBride, I think he has the opportunity, obviously, with Dalvin Cook gone and the question marks around Alexander Mattison. I think his range of outcomes is absolutely absurd as well. Could he pull off, could he jump in and be that dude? I wouldn't expect him to be like Dalvin Cook good. Don't expect him to be 1,000 yards every year, things like that.
Dalvin Cook was a top 5 back in his prime. I mean, he's still top 12, top 15, so yeah, Alexander Madison's getting some lofty expectations, and I think it's good that reports like this are coming out now to sort of just pump the brakes a little bit. I'm as guilty as anybody on the Alexander Mattison hype train because I've always liked his talent. So, knowing now that he'll have the opportunity to hopefully match the talent, I could definitely see Alexander Mattison jumping into the top 12 fantasy running backs. His ceiling is a little lower from he doesn't have like the Christian McCaffrey or Austin Eckler ceiling, but his floor is pretty cozy high. We've seen in his spot starts over the last couple of years. DeWayne McBride, he's a 7th round running back, so he'd have to kind of tush backwards into some opportunities if he were going to, usurp the role. I was thinking the exact same thing. And Jimmy Ray, the Pacheco discourse this offseason is there's such low draft capital in him. What's the point? Like, who's really investing anything in Isaiah Pacheco?
Yeah, I mean, James Robinson got. I mean, he's on the free agent market right now after that one season where he went off.
Cast aside all the UDFA running backs, Phillip Lindsay, they get cast aside, bro, and it's so heartbreaking for me because I'm always like, okay, sunk cost fallacy. What you spend on them is out the window. You see, you have a 1,000-yard rusher on your team. Why are you playing so fickle with them? But it's the same thing with DeWayne McBride. Even if he falls, like I said, luckily into some opportunities, say Madison misses a game and McBride flashes, it's going to take so much for him to solidify a role that I almost don't know. I don't hate the sentiment of the headline because it's subjective enough and it's enough of a projection that, I respect it. But at the same time, you can't ignore or forget about draft capital with running backs.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing is, I mean, he has the opportunity, like I said, and he had the quality stats. I mean, 7 yards per carry, 150 yards per game. But I've seen enough times to where like stats like that in college don't necessarily always translate to the NFL. I'd have to look at who he's played against. I mean, there's a lot of factors in college.
UAB, is that FCS? Is that the one
it's FBS? It's FBS.
Okay, so what is that
That's the main
top
one. Yeah.
That's impressive. Those numbers are impressive for I mean, it's obviously not the SEC or anything like that. Obviously you got to take those numbers with a grain of salt, but it's probably a small program, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
so, take it with a grain of salt, but it's not D2. It's not D3. So there's something to be said there for 7.4 yards a carry and 3 200-yard games. Yeah, keep your eye on DeWayne McBride. I'm glad we're bringing it up. It's the kind of thing that's like earmark it, fold that page down in your book, but don't lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, it's a tough bet to make. It's hard to hit on those types of bets. And then, I mean, Bailey Zappi also had great stats, and that's a different position, obviously, but he was league leading at every stat in college.
Exactly.
And, I mean, he didn't play too bad in his starts, but
that's irrelevant. Yeah, Bailey Zappi is going to be a great backup in the NFL, I think. And if he ever gets a crack, I think he'll make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our Oscar wrap-up music on the DeWayne McBride talk. And honestly, I don't blame Anthony. Jimmy, I think we crushed that. I think I'm ready to move on.
Yeah. We talk about him forever.
We have the name that just won't go away. The why won't you die story of this NFL offseason. DeAndre Hopkins. Top 2 contenders are being thrown out as the Patriots and the Chiefs. This insight comes from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, who made a point to specifically mention both teams. According to Fowler, there is mutual interest between Hopkins and New England. The Patriots cleared cap space last week with extensions for Devontae Parker and linebacker Jawan Bentley. Multiple reports indicate that the Parker extension does not mean the team no longer wants to sign Hopkins. Fowler also thinks the Chiefs could pursue Hopkins once they complete an extension for Chris Jones, a theory presented by Albert Breer a handful of weeks ago. An extension for Jones would clear the cap space necessary to sign Hopkins. Hopkins has made clear that he wants to join a contender. His decision to hold off on offers from the Patriots and Titans seems to indicate that his preference is likely Kansas City. Jimmy Ray, are you as sick and tired of talking about this as I am?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like we have to keep I just talked about this with Brian on Wednesday. There's at this point, we just got to wait it out. It's like Odell Beckham. I mean, you can keep talking about it. You can keep coming up with different teams and different situations and why Patriots are doing certain things, but anything can happen. They can make it work if they want to sign him.
Did you guys have the same level of disgust that I have right now, or were you guys more like calm when you talked about it?
No, we were pretty calm. We were staying. I don't know if Europe's gotten in your head or whatever, but I thought you'd be more calm than that.
No, I appreciate. I'm glad that you called me out for that. I'm drinking way too much espresso here. That's one big thing, for sure. But the other thing is, Jimmy Ray, obviously, I wanted him to be in Buffalo, and I feel like for all
yeah.
intents and purposes, the Bills are out of the conversation, and that's kind of sad. That's kind of a thorn in my side, but there's a contingent of Bills Mafia that is just certain that because Buffalo isn't signing Hopkins, they're not all in. And I'm just like, man, there's other ways to be all in, bro. It's I respect the difference Hopkins will make for a team. I hope it's not Kansas City, because I think he makes them locked and loaded further than they already are Super Bowl favorites. But, the
I guess
Patriots, it would
Don't
make the Patriots a lot better, I think. So,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like it. I think the Bills will be just fine. I think they can make it work with what they have. I mean, they got Kincaid. That's a great pass catcher overall. I mean,
I
you
completely
can't sleep
agree.
on that. And
I
there's some
completely agree.
Shakir, Gabe Davis. I mean, there's options there that could make it work.
You're
Diggs is
talking me
obviously
back
something.
into it. I appreciate you, Jimmy Ray.
Yeah,
I'm backing off the ledge now. The espresso is cooling down. I'm taking some deep breaths. So, which team, Jimmy Ray, do you think Hopkins helps more?
Chiefs or the Patriots? The Patriots.
Yeah, I
Between the
think he
two,
takes the
easily. I don't think
Patriots.
the Chiefs need him. I mean, obviously, you saw what happened last year. They don't.
Right. I mean, literally. I
Receivers are
currently
important, but
don't think I have the Patriots making the playoffs. I think Nuke makes them a fringe playoff team, to be honest. I think
yeah, they're
he
just
could.
in such a tough division, though.
It's hard. I mean,
Yeah,
even with Nuke, I don't know if they're overcoming even the Dolphins or the Jets. I mean, I don't think they're smelling first place, but
yeah. If they got D Hop, I'd still be like, yeah, they're probably still fourth in
yeah,
the
I think so
division.
too.
So
But
maybe
but
they.
fourth in that division might make the playoffs. It's such a good division. They might have three
It's a good
wildcard teams.
conference overall, though, too. So
You're right. I
I
mean,
mean, the
there's still
Colts
the
are in the
Chargers.
division or the
Yeah,
conference. So
yeah,
The Colts are
exactly.
gonna be one of the wild card teams. They can't
Colts
all
are
make
already
the wild
locked in.
card.
No, they're the one seed locked
Yeah,
in.
thank you.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
they're rich with talent.
I mean, seriously. No,
Yeah.
it's an interesting conversation though, but it is one that we've had every week for the past 14 weeks. So
Yeah,
no
change the banner.
disrespect at all to Mr. Hopkins as he makes his decision, as he takes his time, but I'm ready for this to end. And Adrian and Ravito and I talked about it on Friday's storylines that just won't quit episode, most annoying storylines. And
This one win?
this was my selection for most annoying storyline. Yeah,
Congrats
this
to the storyline.
appreciate that. Oh yeah,
Award winner.
you should go listen, Jimmy Ray. That was a good episode.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Armand is on board with us, which I appreciate. And we have one more legit headline before we get into Anthony Wayner's, sick idea for a main topic. So I haven't even teased what it is yet, but we'll get into that in due time. Cardinals tight end Trey McBride. This is the last thing, Mr. Ray, that we have to talk about before
Okay.
we dive in. So let's breeze through it. Multiple Cardinals reporters expect Trey McBride to see a significant increase in targets for this upcoming season. Arizona selected McBride in the second round last year. Across 16 games, Jimmy, I'll just say this as a segue, many consider Trey McBride to be the best tight end in that class. So Trey McBride, with a younger quarterback, developing quarterback, backup quarterback, he could be a safety valve. That's going to be an interesting one to track. Arizona selected McBride in the second round last year. Across 16 games, he caught 29 of 39 targets, which is a 74.4 catch percentage, which, stat guy, that's pretty solid, for 265 yards and a touchdown. The Cardinals lack established pass catchers behind Hollywood Brown and Rondale Moore, who I would argue, in my opinion, Rondale is hardly established. He's a hot seat receiver for me. He needs to prove that he's capable of actually being a weapon before we, call him established. I'm a little nervous about Rondale Moore's future, to tell you the truth. I liked him a lot coming in. And both of those players miss a lot of time. So Zach Ertz, McBride's competition at tight end, is rehabbing an ACL tear and is likely to miss a big chunk of the season. However, Trey McBride has crazy upside. He's 6'4", 260 pounds, and he's flashing tight end one upside. He had a great game against the Falcons in Week 17, catching 7 passes for 78 yards and a tud. Jimmy Ray, talk to me about Trey McBride.
Trey McBride. I mean, he has the opportunity just like the other McBride does, right? I picked him up in a dynasty startup just because, hey, he could be that guy.
That's a great pick. That's a dynasty startup pick.
He
right
has
there.
the opportunity, but what team is he on? Kevin, remind me.
Yeah, exactly.
The Arizona Cardinals, right?
0-17. David Blau
allegedly,
trotting out
yeah.
Colt McCoy. Who was the new name? Clayton Tune.
Yeah. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a team that doesn't have a lot of expectations. Colt McCoy is going to be a star this year. And who knows? Could be next to Geno Smith, but I think Colt McCoy is like 8 years older still.
Dude,
I have
I
no
will
idea.
always love Colt McCoy from his Texas days. Back when we were youngins, Jimmy.
Good old
Colt
days.
McCoy used to slang that rock, man. Was he the first one who came in after Vince Young, if I recall correctly, at
It's
Texas?
around that. It has to be around that.
Yeah, like maybe he might have been the next big thing at
Yeah.
Texas quarterback back when the Texas USC rivalry was everything. I love talking about this, man. I love old college football, man. To me, I'm kind of like romantic about old college football compared to
Nostalgia.
like,
The
yeah.
nostalgic feeling.
Armand is throwing his vote for Clayton Tune to be the starter. I could dig that.
You might as well. Don't start Colt McCoy.
Come on, we're just talking about how much we love the guy.
Okay, never mind.
But let's get
Two quarterback system.
Let's get serious here though, Jimmy. Trey McBride really did have some pretty stellar stats in the time that he was on the field last year. No.
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, he caught the balls that came his way. I think he could be that guy. He could be a young tight end that kind of blossoms into a perennial tight end that plays for a little while. It just depends. I think it depends on the environment that's given to him as well. I think that's always important, but I think tight ends have a longer shelf life than maybe some other positions.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking too about like when Zach Ertz is healthy, like is Trey McBride going to keep that role? Is Trey McBride going to keep targets? I think he should. He's proven to be a pretty viable weapon, and he's also young. He's the future. Teams like the Cardinals need to get younger, and Zach Ertz is no spring chicken. So I'm all in favor of Trey McBride being tight end 1 for the Cardinals, and I like the talent a lot. I definitely think that he will have an expanded role. He doesn't have much in the way of wide receiver threats ahead of him. We've already been over Hollywood Brown and Rondale Moore are just Hollywood's a little bit. I mean, Hollywood's pretty established. He's done some good things in his career. He is injury prone, smaller. Rondale Moore, I think he needs to have a big year this year to stave off the cutting talks. He's been a disappointment in my opinion.
Yeah, work on developing your young guys. Get that couple top 10 picks, top 5 picks in next year's draft. Get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. and then trade Kyler Murray for some capital and young players. And you got yourself a
that's the legit football creed. Everybody who does content for legit football preaches that. But there's like this whole subsection of NFL Twitter that still thinks Kyler Murray is this top 10 guy. Still thinks Kyler Murray is this future star.
I think he could be good at this. I just don't know if he fits in the Cardinals' plans at this point, which is crazy.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the bridge is burned, but that whistle means only one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our Anthony. So clutch with the timing and the whistle. Anthony Weiner hit us up today with this really great idea of predicting the over-unders of last season's top statistical performers. We have Jimmy Ray from NFL Stats on our show. So what better thing to talk about than statistics? So we're going to be highlighting and analyzing last year's top 5 positional statistical leaders and predicting the likelihood of a repeat season with that kind of success in over-under situation. Jimmy Ray, are you as ready as I am?
I was born for this. I've been practicing 10 years for this moment, dude.
En français, on y va, which means let's ride in French. I learned that because I love.
Have you gotten that French audience yet to join us?
Oh,
are they watching?
Are you kidding me? Yeah, dude, we're popping in France. Yeah,
out
of our 5 live viewers, 3 of them are in French.
If Brian's watching, send us some T-shirts, man.
Seriously, I've been saying. So, Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, but what we're going to see on the screen here is their stats from last season, and then we're going to predict their over-under for this season if it's going to match. Très bien, magnifique, as they say in France. Okay. Patrick Mahomes threw for 5,250 yards last year because he's a freak. That is just a bonkers stat line. We all know about the Chiefs' success last season, and Mahomes it starts and ends with him. Everybody knows that. Him, Andy Reid, and Travis Kelce, the 3 best friends that anyone could have. I am going to lock in an under here. not because Patrick Mahomes isn't elite and Patrick Mahomes isn't going to have one of the best seasons in the league at the quarterback position, strictly because that is just so absurd that I shouldn't do this. We should expect absurd greatness from Mahomes, but that is such a high number that I'm just going to hedge and just kind of be safe. And I just think if the over under is 5,249.5, I would just take the under out of just sheer likelihood.
100%. Yeah.
And Brian McFadden AI agrees with me.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I mean, I think it's a very high number, and I don't think the over and unders for a lot of these will kind of dictate how we feel about the player per se. I think it just kind of like these guys are the top of the notch. It's not just random players. It's the top 5 in each category. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to kind of say the under. I think some of these will have over, but it'll be hard to maintain that success, especially at that level. And, I mean, I think he was pretty far superior compared to his other colleagues in that I think he was like 500, almost 500 yards over the second place, man.
Yeah, Thomas kind of echoes a thought that I have like in my head. Like part of where I'm going with the under there is that like it's more likely that he misses time, and that's why he doesn't reach 5,250. I hope to God he doesn't miss any time, because the NFL is better with Pat Mahomes being a freak and throwing sidearmed and lefty passes and no look passes, and the Chiefs doing ring around the rosy crap. They're the team I love to hate right now. They're my new Patriots. So, you know, but you have to give respect where it's due, and Mahomes is a GOAT contender, and he's the head and shoulders best quarterback in the league. So, yeah, I'm going to say under, but strictly based on likelihood. It has nothing to do with
absolutely.
Has nothing to do with what I think of Mahomes. Justin Herbert. Oh, man. Jimmy Ray, I'm going to let you lead off with Justin Herbert.
I'm going to pick the over there for Justin Herbert. I mean, I think Kellen Moore coming in, I think he has all the weapons that he needs. I'm not saying he's going like 5K, but I think he could get 100 or 2. Oh, are you okay?
No, yeah, I'm just pressing my shock.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Kellen Moore could kind of maximize his potential there, and I think he could be in this area of passing yardage again next year, and I kind of give the slight edge to the over. But I think he still has all the weapons and offense as a whole that he needs to succeed. So
yeah, I'm glad you picked the over because you know I've had this quarterback's name in my mouth so much this offseason. I need scope, bro. I need Listerine, but not like normal Listerine, like the heavy duty stuff. You know what I'm saying? I need that stuff that's gonna like get in between the crevices of my cheeks.
Yeah.
You know, I need something to wash out my mouth with all the Justin Herbert talk I've done. But I'm gonna take the over too. And it has nothing to do. I haven't talked any smack about Herbert. I'm just saying that like we've crowned him as this like top 3, top 5 QB, and I don't know that he's entirely earned it outside of yardage production and his first couple of years touchdown production. But even last year, his touchdown production was abysmal. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, you know, we're now at the point where it's poop or get off the pot. If you're a Justin Herbert stan, or you're a Chargers fan, or you just have chosen him to be like a guy that you love, if he doesn't show us that he's a top 5 guy, to me, we no longer can have him in the top 5 conversation. Like this is the year the jury's out, and in my opinion, the jury will have made up their mind after this year. Because I agree with Thomas. Part of the reason I'm picking the over is the Kellen Moore thing. Keenan and Mike. Don't forget about Quentin Johnston. Don't forget about Austin Eckler. He has great weapons.
Gerald Everett.
The defense is improving. Gerald Everett. I usually people don't throw his name in there when they're talking about like elite weapons, but I love it.
You know, why not?
Well,
why not?
Hey, while we're at it, bro, he's got Josh Palmer, dog.
Yeah, he hit 100 yards last year for the first time. You never know.
Josh Palmer's dog. So
we're
gonna take the over on this. Jimmy and I so far 2 through. We're in lockstep. Tyler Wayner, brilliant musician, twin of our producer Anthony. Herbert has a chip on his shoulder, and he thinks he's going to prove himself this season. Tyler, I think he either will or he won't, but I'm glad to see you pushing your chips on one side or the other. Tyler texted me with a bet about the Detroit Lions last episode because I said that I saw the Lions floor being 9-8, so he was like, "I'll take the over. I'll take double-digit wins.
I'll take the over."
No, he said he'd take the over on 10.5. Would you take 11 with the Lions?
That's tough.
It's hard, right?
I can't believe just one game.
I would take the under myself, and I'd take it also too, just because Lions fans, their team is finally good, so I want them to have something to celebrate. All right, Tyler, let's do it. Let's lock it in on the air. Text me about the number. But yeah, let's do it. 10.5, I'm under. Let's lock it in. But anyways, more importantly, Kirk Cousins, 4,547 yards. Jimmy Ray, I'll kick this one off, because I think I have to go over. He has Justin Jefferson. I think the team's going to be down in games more than they were last year. No Dalvin Cook, so the running game's going to be altered significantly. I am looking for Kirk Cousins to be throwing the ball. Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne, TJ Hawkinson. Easy over for me.
Yeah, I went under. I'm not
okay.
I mean, I understand your point of view. I think no, the rushing game might take a dip, but I think Kirk Cousins might take a little dip too. And I'm not completely high on the Vikings as a whole. I feel like they did play behind kind of last year. I mean, their point differential was no bueno. So I know I'm throwing a little bit of Spanish here when you're in France, but
Kirk, more French people speak Spanish than they do English. So
okay. Perfect.
I'm a fish out of water here, Jimmy, but I'm learning beaucoup français. Oui, baguette.
Yeah.
I'm catching up on our lines really quick. So we both had under for Pat. We both had over for Herbert, correct?
What was that?
We both had over for Herbert, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then I have over for Kirk, and you have under for Kirk.
Yeah.
Correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. And next up, you guys already know, again, love this guy. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, no doubt, top 3. I personally think he's 3. But Joe Burrow with 4,475 passing yards. The over-under here is also easy for me, I think. I only see this number going up. Would you agree? Are we in lockstep there?
Yep. Yeah. 4,562 yards is my guess.
Yeah, I like that. I love the specifics.
Yeah,
no, thank you. Do you stat out your players?
No.
Oh, dude, your NFL stats.
Maybe I should. Shoot.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's
make it a full-time job. Well, yeah, I know.
No, just kidding. No, let's have you. Let's do that. I think everybody at Legit Football should. I think that would be a fun episode. Like preview our stat projections.
That'd be difficult. That's not easy.
But Jamar Chase, T Higgins, Irv Smith. I'm playing the Jimmy Ray game.
Yeah,
thrown in there. Joe Mixon in a reduced role, possibly not even on the team. The defense is a little bit weaker than they were last year, so I could see them having to play catch up a little bit more, or having to have shootouts a little bit more. So I like Joe Burrow to be over this. I think minimum 4,600.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You're in on that as well?
That's around a good amount. Yep.
All right, sweet. So absolutely. I was over on Captain Kirk. You were under on Captain Kirk, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then Burrow we're both over on. Anthony, fire up the next one, man. We're keeping it moving. Jared.
Hey,
Goff.
We skipped Tom Brady. We skipped Tom Brady. What's up with that?
I think that's because he's not. I'll take the under.
I'll take the under as well. Okay, now we can
take
move on
the
Jared Goff,
under.
Lions
Jared Goff,
legend.
44-38. Jimmy.
I'm trying to get closer to my screen to see if it helps me.
I feel lower. Like for those of you who are just listening, Jimmy Ray, we just saw Jimmy Ray's brain from inside of his nostrils from the view we just got of Jimmy Ray's. I know.
Now I'm self-conscious over here.
Don't be self-conscious. Your nose was beautiful. Not a bug in sight. I absolutely am going to have to, just strictly for the sake of conversation and strictly for the sake of pissing off the producer, I'm going to have to go with the under here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's losing some elite wide receiver talent for the first 6 games of the season, and I think that there's going to be a committed focus to running the ball this year with them. I think Jahmyr Gibbs was drafted that high for a reason. Yes, he's a pass-catching back, but I think he's going to be really effective running the ball, and I think Jared Goff is going to throw for 4,300 yards, and I still think the Lions are going to win 10 games. So don't boo me. Don't play the prices
But not
wrong.
11. What about 11?
Not 11. We're betting on
Not
not
11.
11.
Okay, but not 11.
I'm
just
locking
staying
it.
at
Me,
10. Okay.
me and Tyler are negotiating terms right now.
In the middle of the show, can we do that?
You're right. There's no legit football gambling policy. I don't actually know.
Yeah, what are you talking
if we
about? You're
can
gonna
or
get
not.
suspended, man. We've already
Dude, I
been through
can't
that.
I can't do it. I can't go the
Not
Jameson
on the
Williams route.
clock, at least. Come on.
Can't do it. Jimmy, we've stalled long enough. You need to make your call on Jared Goff, buddy.
Oh, under.
Oh, you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah.
Can you give us your
sorry. I
reasoning?
wonder if Anthony thinks it'll be over.
I do wonder what Anthony thinks. I'm
I bet
so curious.
I don't know if he'd be a homer pick and make it over, or I mean, it's not always a homer pick, but if you're a fan,
I mean, Jared
over
Goff is
$50. Whoa!
holy wow.
Whoa! I'm not putting.
Yeah,
50
Anthony, text me. I might have 2 twin bets by the end of this podcast.
The
Yeah,
Wayner
Anthony-
brothers against Kevin. That's our next show.
See, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that, I say this every single week on Legit Football, but fandom first. We're NFL fans, bro. That's why we start this show. None of us played in the league. None of us are former coaches. We love football, and so much of the fun, especially when Adrian Ravito's here, Jimmy. Adrian is the biggest degenerate gambler I've ever met. Every single segment, we'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about this," and he'll be like, "Why don't we talk about betting?"
That was a good.
He'll be like, "Why
That
don't
was
we
a
talk
good
about
one.
betting, mate?" Oh, I got some shrimp on the bobby. Patrick Mahomes, 41 passing touchdowns. This one, I'm gonna take the over.
Yeah,
This
should we just take the over? Less yards, more tuds.
Yeah, I'm gonna do just Travis Kelce. I'm projecting a little bit of a step forward from their wide receiver room in general. I don't know who it's gonna be. Some are saying Sky Moore, some are saying Rashee Rice, some are saying Justin Watson. MVS is still there. I like the over here. It's just what the Chiefs do. They throw their touchdowns.
Yeah, this is just off the dome, but absolutely, just hit the over.
Yeah, right. It's just it's Mahomes, man. Like, how do you? I mean, it's weird we did take the under, but only because his yardage output last year was so bonkers. Anthony, fire up the next one.
Oh, this is all you.
This is an interesting number here. Let's keep in mind here, he had a torn UCL for half the season, and they lost a full game.
Are you saying under? Sounds like you're
35 passing touchdowns. Josh Allen, he runs a lot in. He usually rushes between 6 and 9 touchdowns in. So,
oh yeah.
I think I'm going to take the over here as well. Just I don't see the Bills' offense slowing down. If anything, they might gel more with Ken Dorsey. I think their offensive line is a lot better. The only reason I could see the under here is due to the commitment to the running game that I think will come this year from James Cook, Damian Harris. There was a huge report, and it wasn't a legit headline yet because the news broke today, but Nyheim Hines is getting some buzz in camp in OTAs, which, Jimmy, I was thinking about Nyheim Hines as a slept-on part of the Bills roster for all offseason. Anthony had Buffalo's running backs as one of his best position groups in the league, which
really?
I thought it was maybe a little generous, but I mean, the talent is there across the board. So Josh Allen, 35 passing touchdowns. I'm taking the over there.
Yeah, I think it's a slight over. I mean, he's around that mark every year, but I think always bet the over for players like him.
Yeah, I think so too. So yeah, let's keep it moving. Ant. Joey B, 35.
Good amount.
I hate to say it, but I same just easy over.
Yeah.
I just think the Bengals passing attack is going to be absolutely en fuego this year. I mean, Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Irv Smith.
Yeah, same old
Chase Brown, Jamie Ray's boy.
Brown, that's my boy.
I love shouting out like ancillary weapons and then just saying that it's Jimmy Ray's boy because that's who Jimmy Ray. He's a stats guy. He champions the. I was gonna try to keep track in the chat, but it's like almost impossible. There's gonna be so many stats. I'm gonna stop doing that. Thank you, Ant, for keeping it moving. By the way, guys, Thomas, Armand, did we have Oscar in here celebrating?
Yeah, he's somewhere.
Can we get some predictions as well, guys? I'm looking for some outsourced opinions. Geno Smith, 30 passing touchdowns. I am going to go with shoot. This one's hard.
Gotta get closer to the screen
We've
again.
been kind of yamming overs on these passing touchdowns. The likelihood that they all hit the over is low. I'll take the under strictly based on the fact that Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet are an elite running back combo.
I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah,
I leaned under when I first
and we've
saw
only
this.
seen Geno do it once. Right now, as far as we're concerned, that season is the outlier, not less. But I still think he's going to have a great year. I think he's going to set the league on fire again. I think he's going to prove that he's here to stay.
He's not going to ride us back or whatever the saying is.
And I don't want him to. Even if he has a good season, 28 touchdowns is still solid.
Yeah.
29. Next.
Kirk Cousins again.
Under.
Here we go.
This one I'll go under on.
I'll go over on.
Yeah.
Less yards, more touchdowns.
Jefferson will get, 12 of them, but really, who else is getting any? Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate you for at
you're
least keeping
crazy,
the chat
Tyler.
alive, even though you're gaslighting us. I still appreciate that you're commenting.
Just because I'm crazy doesn't mean I'm wrong. Come on. Now.
So we're gonna enforce that Kirk Cousins has thrown for 29 passing touchdowns as per our producer's request. We're getting the all caps texts, Jimmy. So we're in trouble.
Oh no.
Love Anthony. Here we go. Thomas, they've committed to the passing game. I could see him getting 35. Are you referring to the Vikings, Thomas? I'm assuming you're referring to the Vikings. I do think that's it's not a request. No, it's important. I do think that is very likely for the Vikings, but I'm going to pick the under just again based on sheer that's 30 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns to throw. So I'm comfortable with. So I'm going under for both Kirk and Geno, and I'm going over for the other three. I just think quarterback is you can predict high-end success a lot better than you can mid-level success. So without further ado, Ant, keep it moving.
Josh Jacobs.
Next.
Josh Jacobs, 1,653 rushing yards.
1,653 rushing yards for Josh Jacobs. That was kind of a statistical outlier season for Josh Jacobs.
Under?
I said under.
Okay.
Are you going to take the over?
No, I won't. No, I don't even know if he'll play week 1, honestly.
Thank you, Thomas. He's just under of the show. Yeah, you know what? It's so funny. I don't know why, Jimmy Ray, I'm going right to answering the question and not reading it. It's so funny. It's almost like Brian McFadden used to do that or something. We miss you, Brian.
I don't miss him. I just saw him Wednesday.
Easiest under of the show, no doubt. I agree with Thomas. Jimmy, you're thinking about this?
No, it was under. I wanted to play it up a little bit.
Imagine getting 100 yards a game at running back in the NFL, in today's NFL. That would be insane.
He's almost
1653. Yeah. Jacobs is a dog.
Did he miss a game last year? Maybe.
I don't know, but he had he was fantasy RB1. I want to say I have him at number 6 on my rankings this year for running backs. I love Josh Jacobs. 1653 is a statistical outlier season, so easy under for me. Kind of like Mahomes.
He might hold out too. Who knows? A lot of
under. Derrick Henry, 1538 rushing yards. You're taking the over, Jimmy.
Yeah, very slightly. I'm going to say 1580. I think
1580. You are the stat guy.
I think he's going to kind of go a little back to what he's known for. I mean, I think they're still going to run him into the ground.
I think this is sort of a little sidebar, but do you see the Titans being good this year?
No, not really.
Yeah. Me neither. And I think
I don't think it any better. I mean, last year I think they kind of hit a big. I don't know what happened. I think their car broke down and they got stuck on the side of the road, and then they fell down a hill, and then, they lost the division to the Jaguars after kind of some crazy games. So I don't really see them being great, but I think Derrick Henry, if he's not over, he'll be around the same 1,500-ish.
Yo, Thomas, you come in the chat a lot with some Titans love, man. I don't know,
Thomas
dog.
and I are like this right now. I think we're kind of on it together.
I don't know, dog. I don't know if the Titans still got it. I'm not.
I don't think they have to. I think Derrick Henry just has to have it.
We all know that Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the league, so anything's possible with them, but I mean, dude, Derrick Henry also, at what age does he fall off the cliff? I mean, he's
I don't
over
know.
30 now.
I think he still gets that production. I mean, who are they going
Oh,
to give the
man.
ball to? Spears, Haskins? I don't know.
Look,
Haskins just got in trouble.
I'm not off of Derrick Henry in total, but like I'm just
Yeah.
lower on him this year. Like each year that passes by is another year that's more likely that time will catch up to him. You know,
That's
I'm
fair.
not saying it's ever like certain to happen, but any given moment could be the moment when we see the end of Derrick Henry's success. So I'm going to take the under, and I respect you guys for taking the over. He's tried
I
and true.
respect you as well.
Merci beaucoup. Let's keep it moving. Nick Chubb, 1525 rushing yards.
Under.
I will take the over on this.
Are you taking the over? I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the over because if Deshaun Watson provides any more of a threat or any better of a quarterback play than he did last year, then Nick Chubb will have more holes. Nick Chubb will have an easier go. Kareem Hunt is out of the paint, so there's no more splitting touches. There's no more splitting work.
Ford.
I know I love Jerome Ford.
Just
That's
kidding.
true, but
Yeah,
Jerome
that's fine.
Ford. No, I do. He was one of my breakout running back candidates.
There
I
you
do
go.
think he could. I do think he
Yeah.
could have a nice little season, but you know, Cleveland has a great offensive line. Their defense is much improved, which means the likelihood that they'll be in closer games is higher, which means the likelihood that they'll run more is higher.
Mhm.
I actually think the only thing that hurts my Nick Chubb love from a rushing yardage standpoint is the fact that he's going to get utilized more in the receiving game this year. People are saying so.
Yeah, I could see that.
If
Yeah, I don't know.
300 or 400 of those yards go to the air, I mean that hurts the over here.
Yeah, I mean I think this is his highest rushing total of his career in terms of seasons. So I just went a little under here. I don't
He
think
was
it's a knock
dominant
on
last
him.
year.
Yeah,
He
he
kind
was
of
pretty
tailed off
dominant.
down the stretch, but I mean, you know, hopefully he has a complete season this year. But Anthony, we are ready for the next one, brother. Saquon Barkley, 13-12. For the sake of my dynasty team, I'm really hoping it's over.
I went under just because I don't know what he is gonna do this season.
Who's their
in
RB2?
terms of playing? Matt Breida, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty good.
You're joking, right?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
Jimmy, your sarcasm is too good.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're actually too.
I don't know, dude. I think he has a lot of receiving upside as well. That's probably why I went under.
That's true,
In
and
terms of
Dimes
rushing
takes
yards.
away a lot of those yards on the ground.
That's true.
Dimes,
He's the running back too. Let's ignore Matt
that's
Breida
a
for a little
fact.
bit. Yeah. He got
Yeah,
700 yards or something last year. I don't know.
I could be talked into the under. My gut is saying over though, but I could
That's fair.
absolutely be talked into the under.
I think also like the fact that I think he's looking for a new contract. I don't know what his situation is going to play out. I don't think he'll force himself to play if he doesn't have to.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go over on quads.
Mm-hmm. I love quads. Health
is the X factor. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a fact, Thomas.
Absolutely. That's a lot
Health
of these
is the
guys
X factor
too.
for quads.
That's a lot of these guys.
All right, and keep it moving. Miles Sanders, 1269 over, baby. Give me my over, bro. Give me,
Oh no,
bro. Give me all the Miles Sanders love, bro. Thomas, you can clip this, bro, and you can clip me saying you can clip this. I love Miles Sanders, bro. Miles Sanders is so slept on, bro. Thomas, you're the Panthers fan, bro. I'm trying to get you hyped. I'm coming in here screaming and stuff, and you're gonna under me. I lost my mojo there. I lost my gas.
So I don't know if you read the yards. Did you read the yardage?
1269. Sorry, thank you, Jimmy. Anthony's gonna kill me.
No problem. We
Yeah.
get too excited because we don't know the exact.
We do, and we have a Panthers fan in the chat, so I'm trying to.
Okay. I didn't.
No, Thomas is a huge Panthers fan, Jimmy.
Fair
And
enough.
I love Miles Sanders. I don't see where the under chat is coming. Thomas, tell us why. Chuba.
Is it
oh
like? Do
my
you think
God.
it'll be more of like?
He said
like if
Chuba is the
Sanders gonna
best
get the bulk
RB2
of
in the
carries?
league, bro. Yo, Chuba will be the RB5 on the Bills. No cap. Yeah, I'm gonna go with over. I love Miles Sanders. I think he's gonna have an insane season this year. I really do. I love Miles. I don't love Chuba at all. Jamal Williams, 17 rushing touchdowns under. Free money.
Yeah, I'll go under. I think that's I think we have the new easiest under of the.
He might get 12
so far.
But
he might get 12.
Yeah. Ant is taking the over, bro. Ant is taking the Ant. Text me the terms of the bet. Oh no, he's doing the under noise. Okay. Okay. Ant's dropping 50 this episode as a producer, by the way. So let's keep it moving. Next, Ant is having a game. New easiest indeed. Thomas, what? Why do you love Chuba so much, man? Tell me. Austin Eckler, 13 rushing touchdowns. I'm gonna give you a sneaky under here based on the likelihood that Herbert's touchdown regression is positive and the likelihood that Eckler receives more touchdowns. I'm gonna take the sneaky under here.
I'll take the sneaky under as well. I think that's. I mean, I think it's a close call. I think you'll get around. I think you could hit double digits for sure.
I think I read it, but Austin Eckler 13 rushing touchdowns. I'll read it twice from now on.
13 rushing touchdowns for Austin Eckler, just so everybody can hear it.
Sneaky under.
Yeah, 13.
Because even 12 is an elite season. Here we go. This is Derrick Henry, 13 rushing touchdowns. This one I'm closer to. I think it's more likely Derrick Henry has 14 rushing touchdowns than it is that he has 1,400 yards. Does that make sense?
I think so. What if I go the opposite way?
You would take the. I'll take the over here. You take the under.
Yeah,
we'll just flip flop Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I don't know.
We
if
both clearly think he's elite. We just think he's elite in different ways. Yards are just harder to come by.
Yeah, that's fair.
Touchdowns, you can. Jamal Williams had 17. No disrespect to him or the Lions, but that's statistical outlier seasons are usually more likely to come in the form of touchdowns.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think when I think of rushing touchdowns, I think, the team's going to be kind of good. But
Tyler is on the same page as me, so that means that I'm smart. So thank you so much, Tyler.
Wait. Oh, he is on. Oh no.
Over on Tuds, under on yards. I said the same thing.
I'm gonna have
Jalen
to
Hurts,
my whole life
13
now.
rushing touchdowns.
Listen, so I posted a stat.
Push was not outlawed.
I posted a stat yesterday. He had 43 red zone carries last season, the most ever by a quarterback in a season. And people were like, yeah. And I said, 13 rushing touchdowns, 700 yards. People were like, I think his over and under was like 10.5 or 11.5 in terms of touchdowns. And they were like, under for sure. But he had 10 rushing touchdowns a year before. So, I mean, he could hit around that same mark. I'm not saying he's going to hit 13, but this dude's a goal line back for the Eagles.
Right.
I mean, I saw him against the Colts live, and he won the game off of a rushing touchdown because we decided to leave the middle of the field open.
Bro, Jalen Hurts gallops, bro. He doesn't even run. He gallops, and the tush push is still allowed. This is sort of like the quads one, but I'm like, my gut is saying over. I'm gonna go over. It's a gut call.
I'll go like 12. I'm gonna go slide under. I'll go slide under. I was defending him yesterday.
12. I did just sing his.
I'm gonna go the same, exactly 12 again next season. You're gonna
go push.
If I had to pick, I'll go under. But.
Yeah, I'll go under too, just based on likelihood. But yeah, I do really like Chubb, and I do think he has a good year this year. But
what are we going?
Let's keep moving it.
Justin Jefferson, 1,809.
Because this one is so high again.
It's so high.
1809 for J Jeff. It's so high. It's record setting. It's potentially like most yards of all time. So over is it's a really hard sell.
Yeah, I think
I'll take the under.
He's been increasing his yards every year, but I think this is where he'll go down to 1680, 1690 and be consistent around that mark.
Yeah, I think I'll take the under here.
Yeah,
just because it's so high.
It's tough. He's gonna hit 2K now that we said
he'll hit 2K eventually.
He's one of the 3 viewers right now.
Yeah, shout out J Jeff. We love you.
We love you. Armand took the over.
Armand, you are crazy, bro. Taking me over. Tyreek Hill, 1710 receiving yards. I will take the under based on the fact that Jalen Waddle is going to be a bigger piece of the offense this year. And they don't have Trent Sherfield to take the top off the defense anymore.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And McFadden agrees. Yeah, it's under. 1710 is just too high. No disrespect.
Anthony has a lot of control with everybody's voice on there right now.
Wow.
Dude,
okay.
Yeah, wow. Indeed.
AI Kevin feels the same way. AI Kevin is shocked. AI McFadden is mindlessly agreeing with us.
Do we know if Anthony's using this for evil? Or is he just using it for the podcast?
Oh, and now he's setting it off. Wait, where's the disco ball, Anthony? Do you have an AI disco ball? Jimmy Wright, enough stalling. Tyreek Hill, 17-10. We've given you enough time.
I picked the under. I think this was
Yeah.
like a top tier hit kind of mark for him over his career. And I know he was with the Chiefs, so there's a lot of options, but I think there's a lot of options with the Dolphins as well. And I also know that Tua wasn't playing a lot last year, so he could. I mean, the fact that he hit 17-10 last year is absolutely brilliant.
Bonkers.
Brilliant.
Dude.
It's bonkers.
He's one of the best weapons in the NFL. He really is. Can't be debated.
I agree. I think I put him top 5 in my receivers. Did you?
No, sir. And I'm proud of that fact.
Weird.
Top 5 weapons? Yes.
Okay.
Wait, Jimmy, you didn't leave Diggs off your top 5, did you?
I don't remember. Let's move on. What's next?
If you did. No, if you did, then I'm
No, I don't. No, I had Diggs on there. Yeah, Diggs. If he wasn't, he is now. Okay.
Davante Adams, I'll take 1516 receiving yards, 1516 receiving yards. I will take the under based on quarterback uncertainty.
Yeah, I'm going 1360. A little lower than before. Yeah,
very
lower. Yeah.
Very specific there. And we got the laser beam sound effect.
I'm giving people what they want. I'm giving people exactly.
That's an easy under for me.
I'm not just saying under. I'm saying the exact number.
I love Davante Adams. He'll have a good year, but not 1500 good.
You think Hunter Renfrow and Jacoby Myers, they could take all the touchdowns.
The thing with this number, so AJ Brown's line is 1496 receiving. The thing with AJ Brown is that he's so good, and I think he's going to have a monster year, but that's just such a high number. I'm going to go gut check over.
I'm going to go, wait. Did you just say over?
Yeah, gut check over. It's
so
you high.
You were talking like you were about to say under, and I was excited
because
to disagree with you.
It's not likely, but
he's
so good, and he's so him and Jalen Hurts have such great chemistry, and I think he's obviously the best receiver on the Eagles. I think he's a top 7 receiver in the league. So
yeah, I have over too, so I don't disagree.
I'll finally make a gut check. Yeah, let's keep it moving. We are crushing this.
You're up. You're up to bat.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. If he shows up. I'm gonna give Stephon Diggs an over here as well. I like the over for 16, Diggs. I think he's gonna
1660.
I love that. Great call. I think Diggs is gonna go bonkers this year, dude. I think he wants a Super Bowl so bad, and I think that his antics and his episode will get him the targets that he should have always been getting. I really do.
Yeah. I'll calm you down. I think you'll be just fine. I think you'll play for you guys all 17 games.
Josh is healthy now. Yeah, give me 1660 to quote Jimmy. Actually, give me 1661 just to one up Jimmy.
What the heck? Is this Price is Right? What's going on here?
Thomas is saying under for AJ Brown. He thinks AJ Brown, Eagles offense can take a step back. That's pretty reasonable to say because they were so elite. But like I said, gut check. I think Brown's going to have a phenomenal year.
How big of a step? Like a little baby step down the stairs or something?
Let's go. Armand is forecasting 1750 for Diggs. Let's go, baby.
Oh, that's 90 more yards.
That's music to my ears.
He just went.
All right,
I know.
Let's keep it moving.
Davante Adams, 14 receiving touchdowns.
Under.
That's a lot.
14 receiving touchdowns.
Go under.
That's just
will he hit?
Too high.
Jimmy G.
Uncertainty. If Davante Adams has 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns, it's still an amazing season, and he's still a top 10 wide receiver for fantasy, and both of the unders are true. He just happened to have a really good season his first year in Vegas, so
yeah, I
will take the under. Yeah, the unders feels pretty safe here.
Let's see.
Keep it moving.
Travis Kelce, 12 receiving touchdowns. What do you think?
I'm always going to take. I'm always going to take the over.
Yeah, I'll take the over. I don't feel.
You know what? You know what? You can call me a hypocrite because I made the father time argument about Derrick Henry, but Travis Kelce is if anybody's going to beat father time, it's Travis Kelce. That dude is going to be playing football until he's 75.
Yeah, running back and tight end is very different in terms of
12 receiving touchdowns for Travis Kelce, over for both of us. Keep it moving. AJ Brown, 11
receiving touchdowns. Can I say the same?
Yes. You're going to call it push?
I'm going to say push. I'm going to go push here.
I love that. I love that. That's so specific.
I don't care.
Jimmy.
I don't care what other people say. They're like, you have to make a decision. I'm not going to do it.
I love this guy, yo. This guy's like, the likelihood he pushes is so low just because it's so specific. But I love that you're
What do
like,
you mean?
what if it was
Yeah.
like, what if it was like yards? It was like 1297 yards, and you're like, push.
Yeah, push.
He'll get exactly
Those
that.
odds are crazy.
That's so
Come on
funny.
now. Is there a bet if I
I'm
can just put exactly 11?
I guessed Brown pretty heavy in the yards conversation, but I love Devontae Smith and I love Dallas Goedert and I love Hurts to repeat a lot of touchdowns. I think I'll go under here just because 11 is so much. I think he could
I feel like
probably.
you're arguing yourself with some of these.
I'm just like I'm just trying to like account for randomness.
Okay, you just want to be in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, Stephon Diggs. What's up with all these Bills guys? Were they good last year or something?
You wouldn't know it from if you just read open Twitter for a day or watched NFL Live or ESPN. You wouldn't know if the Bills were good.
Yeah,
you would think that they were.
Those. Yeah, I'm not on Twitter, so we're fine.
Oh, dude, good for you.
Yeah.
My rate limit got exceeded at 6 a.m. So
I'm check marked, so I'm good. I pay that extra fee to see you.
I love Diggs, and I love him to have a monster year. I think similar to the conversation with maybe it was Chubb or somebody. I think he's going to have a lot of yards. Touchdowns, 11 is huge for Diggs. I believe he had 9 the year prior and 6 the year prior to that. So he's not only a crazy. The touchdowns aren't like the best part of his game. He does score a pretty good amount, but I think I'm going to go under here just based on likelihood and based on what we've seen in the past. 11 receiving touchdowns for Stephon Diggs. I'll go under.
12
Jimmy.
over.
He's going the over. I love the Bills.
Sir.
Love. You can't call me a homer.
I don't
you can't call me a homer.
I think I'm homer by association at this point.
At this point, I think that's the case with all the legit football people. I've just gaslit you all into thinking that the Bills were,
except for the Lions. Apparently, we're down to the Lions this year.
Hey, we still love the Lions. It was one pick.
We do.
It was one pick, and we got the Twins.
I'm scared to end this show because I don't know what he's gonna say to us.
Yeah, Anthony hates us now.
We love him though.
This is so hard. Oh yeah, we love you, Anthony, even though you hate us. It's
George
a very
Kittle 11 receiving touchdowns.
George Kittle 11 receiving touchdowns.
Under.
I think I like the under call, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean it's just there's a lot of mouths to feed. A lot of mouths.
You got really pissing the Twins off today, dude.
I don't know. Tyler, you got to join the show.
Yeah, dude, I miss Tyler. I actually haven't done a show with Tyler. I'd love to. Let's get Tyler on the show and make that a priority.
Let's do a twin show, like the Twin-tastic.
Yes, the Twin Cast. There we go. We have the.
I'll dress up as Kevin too. We could do a twin.
We'll be well. We already kind of are twins, basically. You shouldn't have shaved your beard. You really ruined the twin thing.
Nah, you got a better beard than me, dude. I got like an Andrew Luck thing going on.
That whistle means we got to keep it moving. So George Kittle, 11 receiving touchdowns. I'm comfortable going under here only because if you guys recall, he really went off at the end of the year last year. I don't see him having that sort of a meteoric stretch again. So I'm comfortable going under for George Kittle.
McCaffrey's there too, so and Ayuk and Debo Samuel.
And I think Ayuk's going to have a breakout year on another level. Debo makes me nervous. I don't know about Debo anymore, man.
Yeah, and I don't know about the whole passing situation too. Is Brock Purdy going to play? I don't know.
Yeah, seriously, that hurts too. Because Purdy and Kittle have good chemistry. That's a big. That's a big. Yeah. And keep it moving. Was that the?
Yeah, that was the last one.
We did not just do that. We did not just power through every single main offensive statistic.
Let's go to defense. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say next time.
Nick
I
Bosa,
would actually
over.
Hey,
23.
Let me just say, I've been doing this show for half a year now, and it's been maybe 3 or 4 times that I've gotten the all caps from Ant. So shout out to Ant for his patience and for being persistent with us to keep us on our best behavior, keep us. Keeping the audio listeners informed, because I'm an audio listener myself. I listen to Legit Football whenever I'm not on. I listen via podcast. So great call by Anthony. Thank you so much to Armand and Thomas and Tyler and Oscar for 5 seconds for keeping the chat on fire. We absolutely need you guys, and you guys should all be subscribed to Legit Football newsletter. If you're not, get on there and subscribe. Like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Y'all already know how much that means to us. Please text me with bets or Twitter DM me with bets. Me and the Twins are already sort of doing a whole bookie situation tonight. Jimmy Ray, how did it feel to be back? It sounds like you were back on Wednesday, but I was
Yeah.
It was like 4 a.m. in France, so I was not here. So
Man, it was 11 p.m. here, and I was like, Brian, what do you have me doing right now? He's like, it's only 30 minutes. I was like, okay, I'll
that's
make it happen.
that's a really
I got to
good
get
point.
up at 6 in the morning, but you know what?
Was
I
it
can still
fun?
get plenty of sleep.
I haven't listened
I
to
had
that
a good
episode
time.
yet.
I had a good time.
I'm gonna get on it.
I think if you catch Jimmy at 11 p.m., that's like what? That's 4 hours from now. You have there's a different vibe going on.
That's loopy Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, I had my lights on him. I had like my string lights on in my room. That it was dark and it was
I think I'll take Lava Lamp Jimmy over caffeine overdose Kevin, because I screamed about Miles Sanders on today's show. People will not forget that moment. I yelled.
What was up with that?
I thought me and Thomas were gonna bond.
You didn't even give me a chance to talk about Miles Sanders. I really had a lot to say.
He just undered me, and it just killed my mood.
I undered you too a little bit.
That's our Oscar wrap up music. So Armand, thank you for the love. Tyler, thank you for the love. Thomas, thank you for the love. Anthony, thank you for being the GOAT producer as always. Jimmy Ray, it was amazing to have you back. Ladies and gentlemen, I have one more show from France. I have one more midnight broadcast from France, and then I'm back at you with purple studio lights at normal, reasonable LA hours. Thank you so much, Tyler. Twin show coming soon. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Legit Football. This was our stats over under prediction preview episode, and we are out.
Peace.